Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
I dog it, Lum. I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, Jot 'em Down store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Lum is still in the printing business, but he hasn't been able to secure any sizable jobs yet. He is, however, planning to publish a new dictionary, one that will remedy such glaring omissions as the words ain't and ort from the dictionaries currently in use. As we look in on the little community today, we find Abner in the Jot 'em Down store and library. Lum is back in the feed room with the printing press, and Cedric has just entered the store. Listen.
Oh, well, howdy, Cedric.
Howdy, Mr. Abner.
Come on in.
When did you get the bell put up on the door?
Oh, the other day. Lum says it's to wake me up when customers come in the store, but I never done no actual sleeping in there. I just sort of taking little cat naps, I think.
Yes, Mom. I got a letter here from Mr. Lum. Is he here?
Yeah, he's back there in the feed room working on that printing press. Hey, Lum. Come here, Lum. There's a letter for you. I never see old Lum no more since he got himself to where he thinks he's a big printer now.
Yes, Mom. What's he printing on now? Some more handbills?
No, I reckon it's that dictionary he's working on. Leastways, I heard him say he was aiming on printing up a new one. Who's the letter from, Cedric?
Oh, it's from Oxford Overnight Authors Institute of Midwest Missouri.
Authors Institute? Well, reckon they've heard about Lum writing that new dictionary already.
What was you wanted, Abner? I'm awful busy.
Oh, why, there's a letter here for you, Lum, from that, Authors, Oxford something or another.
Granny, is that here already? Let me see it. Here it is, Mr. Lum.
Did you know you was going to get a letter from them, Lum?
Well, yeah, sort of. See, I seen an ad in a magazine last week, and I filled out the coupon and sent it into the Oxford Overnight Author Institute. They're going to show me how I can get to be a big famous author, practical overnight.
Well.
And I'll earn big money, too, they said.
Well.
I believe that's what I'd like to take up, earning big money. Well, this ain't no kind of a job for a boy like you, Cedric. Takes a feller with some literary experience to get to be a famous author.
Well, how do you know that you're going to earn big money at this job, Lum?
Well, Clinton B. Quincy of Chester, Pennsylvania's doing it.
Clancy B. Quentin of Chelsea, Pennsylvania. Who's he?
Well, he's a feller they tell about in the ad. He sent in the same coupon that I sent in less than 3 weeks, Clinton B. Quincy of Chester, Pennsylvania was making $300 to $400 a week, selling stories to Boys Workbench Weekly and Modern Tatting and Doily Review and Steam Fitters and Welders Monthly Magazine and I don't know what all.
Well, I do know.
And Clinton's only 23-year-old.
Huh.
So I figured I ought to start out making twice as much as him.
Well, is that what you're going to do, sell them stories to them Doily and Steam Welders magazines?
No, not me. That's small-time stuff.
Yes, huh?
I'm going in for big, long books. Novels. That's what I'm going to write.
Love novels?
Well, maybe. I don't know. I can tell you one thing, though. I'm quitting work on that dictionary. That's just a waste of time.
Tis, huh?
Why, sure. Can't find no other words they've left out except ort and ain't. So there ain't no use copying down all the rest of the dictionary just to get them 2 words in. Feller can recollect them.
Why, sure. A feller ought to be able to recollect just 2 words, ort and ain't, yeah.
Ain't you going to open up your letter, Mr. Lum? Oh, yeah. Might not forgot about that. Let's see here.
Well, how's this letter going to help you get to be a famous author, Lum?
Just wait a second and I'll show you.
Here,
now, see this? This
Yeah.
is a aptitude test, I reckon it's called.
Well, what's an aptitude test?
It's a test they give me to see if I got aptitude or not.
Well, if you got it, is it serious?
I had appendicitis once, and that was serious. Well, this is different, though, Cedric. I had a whooping cough once, too, but that weren't serious, I don't think.
Little Pearl had the mumps once. Just had them on one side, though. Just one mump, I reckon. Had the mump, you'd call it, I reckon.
Well, aptitude ain't no kind of a disease, Abner. Just a test to see if I'm the type of fella that ought to be an author. All I have to do is write out a couple of things they got listed down here and send it in. If I do good in that, then I can start right out being an author and earning big money. At least that's what the ad said.
Yeah, well, what kind of a thing have you got to write out there?
Well, if you'll get me some of them grocery pads there, I'll show you. I reckon I can ride on the back of them all right.
Oh, sure, them ought to be fine. Can you reach them there, Cedric? They're closer to me, right there behind you.
Oh, yes, Mom.
Yeah, that's him.
Let me sit down here at the table. Yeah, that's better. Let's see. First, I'm supposed to write a description. Here's a grocery pads, Mr. Lum. Oh, what you buy, Cedric? Write a brief description of a familiar landscape, such as a picturesque valley, or a wooded glen, or a nearby hill. Well, that's easy.
What, Lum, what's a wooded glen?
I don't know. I'm going to take the nearby hill. I'll describe that over there back of your place.
You mean old Dead Stump Hill there?
Yeah, let's see now. Dead Stump Hill is a... What sort of a hill would you say that was, Abner? Big hill?
Well, no, it ain't exactly big. There's others around here bigger than that.
Yeah, it ain't exactly a little hill, neither.
No.
Because there's some that's littler than that.
Oh, yeah.
And I believe there's some that's more middle-sized, too.
Well, maybe you ought to just play safe and just say it's a hill and let it go at that, Lum.
Yeah, that's the best thing.
Yeah, I believe it is. Just a hill.
Dead Stump Hill is a hill.
Yeah.
Seems like I ought to say a little more than that. What else can you recollect about it?
Well, let's see, I seen a rabbit up there once, but I don't reckon you'd want to put that in. More likely he ain't there all the time. I can't think of nothing else.
It's got dead stumps on it.
Yeah,
that's good. Yeah, put that down. Dead Stump Hill is a hill. It's got dead stumps on it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it takes care of that first question, all right.
Hey, Doggies, Lum, I believe I could be a famous author, too, you know.
No, you couldn't, Abner, no. You ain't the illiterary type like me.
Oh.
Next, we have a question on dialogue.
Dialogue? What's that?
I think it means talking backwards and forwards, you want to know.
Sounds like a log.
Says here, write a brief dialogue between a warden and a condemned convict. Or between an international jewel thief and a beautiful countess.
Doggies, that sounds interesting. Which are you going to take, a warden and a convict?
No, the others. I ain't never actually heard a warden talk.
Well, you ain't heard no beautiful countess talk neither, have you?
No, but if I ever met one, I know what to say to her.
You would, huh?
Let's see here now. I reckon the feller'd talk first, wouldn't he?
I reckon so. They say a woman always gets in the last word. Yeah.
All right, put him down first. He says in a very polite voice, "Howdy do, Mom." Howdy do, Mr. Lum. I ain't talking to you, Cedric. This is a national jewel thief talking.
Yeah. Ooh. Say, Lum, what's his name going to be?
Yeah, I don't know.
How about that Quincy B. Chester of Clancy, Pennsylvania? I believe that'd be a good name for him.
No, this feller's name is, Mr. Brown.
Brown? That don't sound like no jewel thief.
Well, that's why he used it, so folks won't get suspicious of him.
Oh.
That ain't his real name, of course.
Yeah, what's his real name? Quentin B. Chester of Chester, Pennsylvania?
Abner, shut up. Let me get this dialogue wrote.
Oh. What do you got down there so far?
Well, so far, the jewel thief said, "Howdy do, Mom." And the beautiful countess answers him and says, "Howdy do, sir."
Yeah, that's coming back at him.
Yeah. And then, well, that's all so far.
What's the matter? Has a cat got their tongue?
Well, they're bashful. You see, they've just met one another. Besides, he can study, he's sort of figuring out how he can steal her jewels. Naturally, he can't talk to her about that.
Oh, no, he wouldn't want to bring that up.
And he's fell in love with the beautiful countess at first sight.
Well, good for him.
That's another reason he can't think of nothing to say. I know I never can.
Well, what do they do? Just stand there gawking at one another?
They ain't gawking. They're looking into one another's eyes. It's awful romantics right at this point.
Well, when does he steal her jewels?
He don't.
Huh?
The countess is so beautiful that he just can't do it. Instead of that, he turns around and walks away, and she never sees him again in her whole life.
Well, don't he even say goodbye?
No. He don't want to do nothing to break the spell.
Such a story.
He just wants to recollect her in his memory and always see her that way. From then on, he never does no more jewel stealing the rest of his whole life, neither.
Well, reformed, you see.
Sure is a pretty story, Mr. Lum. Yeah, I thought it was when I read... Granny, I'm even better at this than I figured I'd be. Well, that takes care of the dialogue question.
Well, just a minute, Lum. Is that all you have to write down there? Just howdy do, Mom, and howdy do, sir?
Well, in this case, that's all. It'd ruin it to say any more.
My doggies, I know I could get to be a famous author.
I think I could, too.
Sure.
I'd write that good. Howdy do, Mom. Howdy do, sir. That's easy.
Of course it is.
It might sound easy to you fellers, but it ain't. Takes a feller with a lot of aptitude.
Huh.
Yeah, you gotta know something about it to turn out stuff like that. It ain't the actual words that count so much, it's the thoughts behind them.
Well, me and Cedric studied up the thoughts behind that first one about that dead stump hill being a hill with dead stumps on it. You better put our names down on that aptitude test before you send it in.
I ain't gonna do no such a thing. I'm the only author around here.
Now, Lum, we just had as much to do with this
Abner,
as you did.
hitch up and let me see what else I got to do here. You're interfering with my lesson. You have now completed the Oxford Overnight Aptitude Test. All you have to do now to become a full-fledged writer, earning a handsome income.
Me and Cedric could do this work just as good as you can, Lum Eddards, any day in the
Granny
week.
Abner, I believe you're right.
Huh?
Maybe you and Cedric are the author types after all. Here, I'm going to turn all this over to you fellas.
Yeah, well, wait a minute. Where are you going, Lum?
I'm going back to the feed room. I'll just be the printer around here. You two can be the authors. I'll see you later.
Yeah, all right. Doggy, Cedric, we're authors. Did you hear that?
Wonderful world.
Yeah, good for us.
When do we start earning that big money? That's what I want to know.
Oh, well, we got to finish this here aptitude test first, I reckon. Let's see, we'll fill this out and sign our names.
Yes, Lord.
Why, sure, we can write better than that.
Fun.
All you have to do now to become a full-fledged writer earning a handsome income
Boy.
is to mail the enclosed card which will entitle you to the Oxford Overnight Authors Training Course for the special rate of $117.50.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
Aye, Doggy's Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, Jot 'em Down store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Lum gave up the idea of becoming a famous author with a handsome income when he discovered that it would cost him $117 to take the Oxford Overnight Writers Course. However, he's decided to enter a little different phase of the literary field. He's going to become book publisher. As we look in on the little community today, we find Lum in the Jot 'em Down store. Abner, returning from the day's deliveries, is just entering. Listen.
Abner, don't let that screen door slam every time you come in here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Say, Lum, what's that sign you got up out there in front?
Oh, you mean the one about hopeful young writers bringing in their manuscripts to me?
Yeah. What's that for? What's a manuscript?
Well, it means a book or something that they've wrote, but ain't been printed up yet.
Oh.
Just wrote on rough scratch paper.
Uh-huh. Well, what do you want folks to bring them things into you for? Can't you think up no ideas of your own to write?
No, that ain't it, Abner. You see, I've decided to give up being an author myself. I'm going to become a publisher instead.
Publisher?
Yeah, Dick Huddleston told me that's where the big money's at in the book business.
Well.
See, it ain't the author that actually sells the books he writes to the public. It's the publisher that does that. So, natural, he's the one that makes the money.
Well, don't the writers get nothing out of it for themselves?
Oh, he gets a little bit. The publisher pays him a penny a word or something like that. Leastways, that's all I'm going to pay, I know.
Well, a penny ain't much. Them authors can't live on that, can they?
Oh, well, they make more than a penny, silly. You see, if they write a long book, say 800 or 900 words long, why, they get paid $8 or $9. And that's just out of one book, too.
Oh, well, then if they write 2 books a week, or... Wait a minute, was that our ring?
I don't know. I never paid no attention.
I believe it was. I ain't for sure. It sounded familiar.
Hello, Eddards and Eddards Publishing Company. L. Eddards, President and Publisher talking. Mom?
Must have been. Somebody's talking.
Groceries. Oh, well, you'll have to call Mr. Peabody at the Jot 'em Down store for them. Goodbye.
Well, here, wait a minute, Lum. What'd you hang up for? I'm right here.
I know, but it sounds more important this way. Sounds like we got two separate telephones.
Oh, hey, that's a good idea. Who was it, do you know?
Sort of sounded like Sister Simpson.
Uh-oh, you oughtn't have hung up on her that way. She'll get awful mad.
Yeah.
And she'll pester us till we apologize to her. You know how she is.
Well, I can't help that. I'm too busy to talk to her. Leastways during office hours.
Well?
That's a new rule I just now made up for the Eddards and Eddards Publishing Company to follow. No talking about groceries during office hours.
Well, did you call it the Eddards and Eddards Publishing Company?
Yeah, incorporated.
Well, have you took in somebody partnership with you named Eddards?
No, both of them are me.
Huh?
See, I'm the president and the publisher both.
Oh.
There's the phone again. You better get it this time.
Yeah, I'll get it. Hello, Jotham Down Store and Library. Abner Peabody doing the talking. Oh, howdy, Sister Simpson.
It's her again.
Mom, I never insulted you. That was Lum.
You know him about it.
Oh, well, just a minute. I'll call him.
No.
Wait a minute. You'll have to call him at the Eddards and Eddards Publishing Company. Goodbye.
For goodness sakes, Abner, what'd you go and do a thing like that for?
Well, ain't that what you want me to do? Make out like we got two separate phones?
Yeah, but you know good and well I don't want to talk to her.
Oh.
Especially not when she's mad at me. That woman can talk for hours and hours, again she gets wound up on some subject.
Oh, she's a talker, all right. Oh. Well, howdy, Mousie. Come on in.
Yeah, howdy, Mousie.
Hello, Lum, Abner. I saw your sign, Lum, so I brought in my manuscript for you.
Well, for the land's sakes, Mousie, you ain't had time to write no manuscript just since I put up that sign out there.
Well, see, these are some things that I've written from time to time, Lum. Mostly poems.
Poems, huh?
Yes, sir. Now, I'd like for you to publish them in a book for me, Lum, called the Collected Works of Llewellyn Snavely Gray. How soon can you get it done, Lum?
Well, wait, Mousie. I don't know yet whether I'm going to publish your book or not.
Sir?
I ain't sure that I'll be able to sell a book of poems.
Well, these are awful good poems, Lum. The first one is called That's My Mom. I wrote it especially for her.
Well, that was awful thoughty of you, Mousie.
Yes, sir. Now, here's how it goes.
Wait a minute, Mousie. That's our ring. You better answer it, Abner.
I ain't going to talk to Sister Simpson. You're the one she's calling for, Lum.
Well, I ain't going to talk to her neither. Go ahead and answer it. Get shut of her somewhat.
No, sir. Now, you do it. Tell her you went somewhere or something like that.
Oh,
I ain't going to talk.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, tell her you ain't here.
Hello? Eddards and Eddards Publishing Company talking. But Mr. Eddards ain't here.
That's our time.
Why, this is his secretary talking.
Well, got three jobs.
Well, yeah, we do sound alike. That's 'cause we're relays. Fourth cousins, I think.
For that man's sakes.
Why, my name is,
Clinton B. Quincy of Chester, Pennsylvania.
Clinton B. Quincy of Chester, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yes, Mom. Well, I just got in town about 2 minutes ago. Well, I rode in on the mail hack. It didn't, huh?
Uh-oh.
Well, then I walked. Here, Abner, you take this phone.
I ain't going to do it. I ain't here no way. I'm at the Jotham Down Store, Lum.
Listen, Miss Simpson, I got a lot of secretary work to do for Mr. Lum. I better hang up. Goodbye. Granny, I hate to tell stories like that.
Yeah.
It's like when you tell just one little bitty one, you got to tell a whole bunch of them to give her up the first one.
Sure. Are you ready now, Lum?
Ready for what, Mousie?
The poems.
Oh.
Under the spreading box elder tree, the village blacksmith stands. That's my mom. A mighty man is she with big and sinewy hands. That's my mom. And the muscles of her mighty arms stands out like iron bands. That's
just
my
a minute,
mom.
Mousie. Wait a minute here. I've heard a poem just like that summers before. You never wrote that.
Well, no, not all of it, Lum. I did sort of get the idea from a poem that I read once, but this is about a different blacksmith. This is about my own mother up in Iowa. She's a lady blacksmith,
Yeah, we
you know.
know all about her, Mousie, but
Yeah.
that don't make no difference. I can't publish that poem. That's against the law. It's stealing. That's what it actually is.
Well, I'll just have to leave that one out then. I've got plenty of others, Lum. Now, the next one here...
Don't bother to read them, Mousie. I don't believe I'd be interested in publishing no book of poems. Just forget about it.
Well, I know you'll like this one, though, Lum. I wrote it one night while I was on duty as air raid warden for you. It's dedicated to my friend the Hoot Owl.
Uh-oh, I was scared of that.
Here's how it goes. Oh, Hoot Owl, oh, friendly owl, oh, owl that hoots, oh, feathered fowl, oh, owl in some dark yonder tree, oh, please, Hoot Owl,
please speak to me. Hoo-hoo, hoo-hoo.
Granny, if that don't beat the bugs of
That's good, Mousie. Is there some more to it?
Don't encourage him, Abner.
Yes, sir, there's 29 more stanzas.
Oh, my goodness. I don't believe I can stanza it.
Oh, owl of mine, hoot on divine. Oh, owl with eyes that brightly shine.
Oh, wait a minute, Mousie. There's the phone again.
Yes, sir.
Granny, Abner, you just got to answer it this time. That's all there are to it.
I ain't going to do it now.
Abner,
Mom.
you've got to do it.
I
Pick up
won't.
that receiver. I'll unsolve partnerships with you.
Well, all right, I'll get it.
Oh, owl of mystery, owl of
Hush
night.
up, Mousie.
Hello? Sister Simpson? No, Lum ain't here. No, that weren't him talking to you. That was, Clinton B. Quincy of Chester, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. It was just a minute. Now she wants to talk to Clinton B. Quincy, Lum.
Oh, my goodness. Tell her he's went out summers.
Well, he's went summer, Sister Simpson. I believe he went back to Chester, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, must be where I went.
Well, I know he just got here, but he had to leave right away. The work was too hard for him, I think. He's an awful frail little feller.
Ain't no such a thing.
Here, Lum, take it. I can't think of nothing more to say to her.
Well, don't give me the receiver. I don't want it.
Owl of mystery,
For goodness.
owl of night. Oh, owl who sees in dark like
Hush
light.
up, Mousie. Go on, Abner, and talk to
I
her.
ain't going to do it now,
For
Lum.
goodness sake.
Oh, owl who hoots at passers-by, who always gives that friendly cry.
Mousie.
Hoo-hoo, hoo-hoo.
Mousie, I told you to stop that. Abner. Wait a minute. I believe I got it.
Oh, owl, oh, hooting owl.
Just a minute, Mousie. I think I got some good news for you.
Good news. Oh, gee, Lum, are you going to publish my poems?
Well, I don't know for sure yet, but I've just made new arrangements for you to read your poems to the vice president of our poem department.
Oh, gee, that's wonderful. Who is the vice president, Lum?
Sister Simpson.
Well-
And she's waiting on the phone right now to hear you. So just start reading your poems right into the receiver there.
Oh, gee, how can I ever thank you, Lum?
Here.
Well, go ahead, get started, Mousie. And when you read 'em once, go right ahead and read 'em all to her again. All
Yeah.
29 stanzas.
Read them all to her.
All right. Hello, Sister Simpson. Here goes. Oh, hoot owl, oh, friendly owl, oh, owl that hoots, oh, feathered fowl, oh, owl in some dark yonder tree, oh, please, hoot owl, please speak to me. Hoo-hoo, hoo-hoo.
Come on, Abner, let's get out of here.
Oh, hoot owl, with your little bare feet, you must be cold without no heat. So, owl, I'm going to make you a treat. It's a little hoot suit with a neat reed pleat. Hoo-hoo, hoo-hoo.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
I dog his Lum, I believe you're right.
Now, see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, publisher L. Edwards is still searching for the great American novel. But so far, his call to aspiring authors has brought forth no literary gems. Even the collected works of Llewellyn Snavely Gray failed to win the approval of the Edwards and Edwards Publishing Company of Pine Ridge. As we look in on the little community today, we find Lum and Abner in their jot-em-down store and library, looking over some of the manuscripts that have been submitted. Listen.
The romantic love life of Alice, the girl bookkeeper. Lord me, who sent in this manuscript, Lum?
Widow Abernathy sent that in, I think.
Widow Abernathy?
Yeah.
When did she get to be an author? What's the story about, Lum?
Can't you tell by the name of it?
Huh?
She's wrote 230 pages of nothing but slush and mush. Slush and mush, I call it.
Well, that's about what I'd figure she'd do. Now, reckon where she finds time to be a book writer with all them young'uns of hers to take care of.
She just don't take care of them, that's all. Lets them run wild.
Yeah.
All she does is just sit around all day thinking about stuff like the romantics of Irma the bookkeeper.
Alice.
Well, whatever her name is.
Well, are you going to publish the widow's book, Lum?
Oh, of course not. It ain't no good.
Ain't, huh?
Besides, I said in that sign I put up out there in front that I wanted to get manuscripts from young, hopeful writers, not old women like the widow.
Oh, you better not let her hear you call her an old woman.
No.
Ain't no one thing that makes her madder than that.
Yeah, you know, it's a funny thing, Abner, but might not every person that's turned in a manuscript is getting along in years.
Well.
Now, just looky here. Ira Hodgkins. Eugene Foster.
For the land's sake.
He wrote a lot of them smart cracks of his in his story.
He did, huh?
I just ignored him.
Why, sure.
And Miss Blevins' Uncle Fred.
Oh.
Old Jed Sumter. Grandpappy Spears.
Grandpap?
Why, sure.
What kind of a book did he write, for goodness sake?
Oh, it's just a bunch of prittle-prattle called Gilbert the Boy Checker Player.
For the land's sakes. I bound you he got that idea from that book over in the libraries he's been reading, that Gilbert the Boy Trapper.
Oh, of course he did. He ain't got no original ideas of his own.
No, and he don't know enough about playing checkers to be writing no book about it neither, I'll tell you that. I can beat that old feller with my eyes closed and both hands tied behind my back.
I don't know now. I wouldn't be too sure about that. I notice he generally beats you.
He don't do no such a thing. Just when he cheats is the only time.
Wait a minute. Let's not get into no argument.
I know that he don't beat me. I know that.
Let's see what other manuscripts have we got here. Here's one from... No, this ain't one.
What is it?
It's a bill from the wholesale house.
Oh.
They say they can't give us as long to pay up this time as they've been doing. We're supposed to send them a check right away.
Right away?
That's what it says.
Well, we ain't got enough money to pay it now, have we?
No. All we got in the cash drawer is $49.32, I counted a while ago. That ain't half enough.
Oh, no. Well, what are we going to do, Lum?
Yeah, I don't know. I reckon I'll just have to hurry up and start making money off my book publishing business. That's all I can figure out.
Well, that might take an awful long time, Lum. You ain't made nothing off of it so far.
Yeah, I know it. I reckon the best thing to do is just send them the $49.32 and tell them we'll send them the rest as soon as we can.
Well, what are we going to live on in the meantime?
Oh, well, we can always eat what we got in the store here. Wait a minute, was that our ring?
Huh?
Didn't you notice?
I never noticed. I never paid no attention. I was thinking about that bill from the wholesale house.
Well, if it ain't ours, I'll just listen in on somebody else. Hello, Eddards and Eddards Publishing Company. L. Eddards, president and publisher, talking.
Want the money right away. We ain't got it.
Oh, I do, Miss Barton.
Broke as I was in my life.
On a committee for what? Oh, well, I'm feared we couldn't contribute nothing right now, Miss Barton.
Here to being flat broke. I'm bent. I'm so far.
Well, I'm sorry, but to tell you the truth, we're sort of having finance reverses right now. Yes, Mom. Well, sure, we're patriotics, but we just ain't got the money, that's all. Maybe next time we can.
Yeah.
All right, Miss Barton. Oh, not at all. Goodbye.
What'd Miss Barton want, Lum?
Oh, she wanted us to contribute to some outfit called a USO or something.
What's that?
I don't know. What we need right now is somebody to contribute something to us.
Yeah, to the E&P, Eddards and Peabody. Good for me for thinking of that.
Well, I reckon I better take our $49.32 over to the post office and get a money order and go ahead and send it into the wholesale house.
Yeah, I might just as well. Sure, get rid of it. Pay it. That's...
Uh-oh.
Well, there's Cedric. Well, howdy, Cedric.
Wonderful world.
It's wonderful world, Cedric.
Hey, looky here what I got.
Well, what is it, Cedric? Oh, that ain't a manuscript, is it?
No, Mama. I don't think it's one of them. I don't believe.
Well,
That's a relief.
yeah.
My book publishing business is bad, but it ain't that bad.
Mom?
Oh, nothing. Tell us what it is you got there, Cedric.
Oh, it's a letter wrote to me from Ernest Macmillan.
Well, I do know. Ernest. He's the one that went in the army, ain't he?
Yes, Mom. It's where he is now in the Army.
Well.
Tells about it in his letter here. Do you want to read it, you fellers?
Why, sure, we'd love to give it to Lum and let him read it. He's a better out-loud
Yes,
reader
Mom. Here,
than me,
Mr. Lum.
Cedric.
Yeah. Granny seems good hearing from Ernie again. Mighty fine boy, Ernest.
Oh, well, there ain't none better in this whole part of the country.
Yeah, let's see here. Dear Cedric.
It's wrote to me. That's why it starts out that way.
Yeah, well, I already figured that out.
Yeah.
Dear Cedric, how are you? Everything here is fine. I cannot tell you where I am, but I...
Can't tell where he is.
That's what he says here.
Well, why don't he ask somebody? Doggies, now imagine a full-grown boy like Ernest getting out and getting himself lost that way.
Well, it don't mean that, Abner. It just means he ain't allowed to tell where he's at, because that's a military secret.
Oh, sure, I see. Go on, go ahead.
I cannot tell you where I am, but I am getting along fine.
Well, good for Ernest.
We left... Well, that's funny. There's a hole in the paper here.
Hole in the paper?
Yeah. Don't tell where he left from.
Doggies, Lum, we better send him some writing paper. You know what? Some of it ain't got no holes in it.
Oh, I know what them holes is for. Papa says the censors cut 'em out of there on a purpose.
They did? Doggies, somebody ought to report them for that.
They oughtn't to do no such
Well, you
thing,
can't tell nothing about a letter with holes all through it that way, Lum.
Them censors is supposed to do that.
Huh?
You see, they cut out everything they don't want the enemy to find out.
Well, Cedric ain't no enemy, is
No,
he?
Mama, I ain't no enemy.
Why,
Honest
of
to
course
goodness,
you
I
ain't.
cross my heart and body.
Why, sure, I know you, Cedric. You ain't no enemy.
I know he ain't, but he might lose the letter and it might fall into the hands of some of our enemies.
Oh, is that some more than their military secrets?
I reckon so.
Well,
We left a hole in the paper
oh,
about 3 weeks ago and arrived here safe and sound.
well,
There is a possibility that we may go on to hole in the paper.
well, going right back where they started from.
I have gained some weight since I have been in the Army and feel just fine. But I sort of miss seeing you fellas.
Well, bless his heart. Bless his little heart.
I wish you would write me a letter and tell me all that's happening. You ought to do that, Cedric.
Yes, Mama, I'm aiming on it just as soon as I get somebody to help me.
How is Gomer Bates and Skinny Blevin?
They're fine.
Is Shorty Foster pitching for the Pine Ridge Nine this season? And did we beat Cherry Hill in the opening game?
No, tie, 43-43. Sort of a pitcher's battle, I reckon you'd call it.
Say hello to Mildred Barton for me.
Mildred Barton.
Yes, Mom, Mildred, his sweetheart.
Well, I do.
We have
know.
a new clubhouse that has just been built, and it does an awful lot to keep us fellows from getting too lonesome for home.
Well,
It was put up by the USO.
put up by the USO.
That's what it said.
Well, ain't that what Miss Barton called up about a while ago?
Yeah, I believe it is.
Well, she ain't no carpenter, is she?
They show movies for us and get us books to read, and try to give us all the pleasures of a home.
Well,
We sure like it.
Hmm.
You would be surprised what a change it has made in how all the fellows here feel.
why, natural.
I guess it's like Mousy Gray always says, the USO is just like a mother to us.
Well, you know, that USO must be an awful good thing, Lum.
Yeah, it must be all right.
Why, sure.
The only trouble is that our clubhouse is so new it don't have the furnishings and equipment that it needs. And I understand they will have to raise more money before they can get these things. I sure hope they can do it. Abner, get Miss Barton on the phone.
Huh?
Get Miss Barton on the phone and tell her we're making a contribution to the USO after all. And we're doing it right this minute.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll get it right now. Wait a minute, though. We ain't got no money, Lum.
Well, we got some in the cash drawer, ain't we?
Well, yeah, but that's all the money we got right now, and we owe that.
I don't care. We're making a contribution anyway.
Yeah, but what about the wholesale household, Lum? Ain't they liable to take our store if we don't pay them?
Listen, Abner, the best way of keeping our store and our homes and everything else we got is to give all the money we can to help take care of our soldier boys. Hurry up now. Call Miss Barton.
Yeah, I'll get it right now. Well, how much we going to contribute there, Lum?
Oh, $49.32.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
All right, Doggies, Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
now. Let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, President Eddards of the Eddards and Eddards Publishing Company has not yet found a manuscript suitable for publication. However, he is still diligently reading through the stories and collections of poems that have been submitted. Abner is more concerned with the problem of raising enough money to pay the bill from the wholesale house. As we look in on the little community today, we find the old fellows in their jot 'em down store and library discussing the matter. Listen.
How much obliged, Miss Bates. Come in again soon as you can. Doggies, look, Lum, Miss Bates paid up that big grocery bill they've owed us for so long.
Yeah, I heard you talking there. Well, Abner, maybe we ain't going to have to worry about money much longer.
Huh?
I think maybe I've run into something great here.
What is it? Somebody sent in a good manuscript, one you can publish and sell for a lot of money?
Well, it does have something to do with the manuscript, but it ain't exactly from selling the book that I'm aiming on making the money, though.
Well, how else can you make money aside from selling it?
Here, let me read this letter, and then you'll see. It comes from a feller named O.W. Trafford, Jr.
Huh?
You recollect anybody by that name?
Trafford? No, I don't believe I do. I know a Milford Spears.
No, this is Trafford. Says his grandpa used to live in Pine Ridge.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I never knowed him. Grandpa Masters might recollect him. You want me to call him up and see?
No, it ain't that important. Just listen to this letter. It's addressed to the Eddards and Eddards Publishing Company and says, Dear Mr. Eddards, I have long had a story in my possession which I feel is worthy of publication.
That feller's name couldn't have been Hartford, could it, Lum? I used to know a Jess Hartford.
No, it's Trafford. Be quiet.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because this is a true story based on actual incidents that took place in your hometown, Pine Ridge, I thought you might be interested in publishing it.
For the land sakes, taking place right here, huh?
Yes, sir, right here in Pine Ridge.
Well.
At the time of the story, my grandparents were living in a large house which they built and which was later sold to a family named Hurley.
Hurley? Why, sure, I know where the old Hurley place is. Or where it used to be, just a hole in the ground there now. It burned down a long time ago, Lum.
Yeah, that's the place, all right. But listen to this. Briefly, the story deals with my grandparents' hurried but heroic escape from this house during the early days of the Civil War, telling how they outwitted the soldiers and buried several $1,000s worth of jewels and silver pieces in an abandoned well in the backyard.
Well, I do know. Well, did they go back and get all that stuff after the war was over?
No, he says a long time after that his papa went back once, but the backyard had all been plowed up and he couldn't find no trace of the old well.
He couldn't?
No, sir. At least not according to the letter.
I doggies, Lum, then all them jewels and stuff must still be over there.
Why, sure. Didn't I tell you this was a great thing?
Oh, well, where's the shovel? Let's get started digging.
Well, wait, Abner. We can't go digging around on somebody else's property.
Well, the Hurleys don't even live in town no more, Lum. They moved to Illinois, I believe it was, right after that house burned down.
Yeah, but before they left, they sold the property there.
Oh.
Don't you recollect? Ezra Seastrunk bought it a long time ago.
Ezra?
Yeah, he was aiming on rebuilding the place, but never got around to it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Well, Ezra won't care if we dig there. I'll ask him myself.
No, don't do that now. We'll have to tell him what we're digging for, and then he'd claim all of it because it's on his property.
Oh, yeah, he would, wouldn't he?
No, the thing to do is to buy it from him if we can.
Buy it? Well,
yeah.
Would that be right, Lum?
Well, we can give him half of it, and we get it dug up or something.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Buy half interest from him, yeah.
It oughtn't to cost much.
No.
Run down like it is. And it's in a bad part of town now, too.
Oh, nobody lives over
Just give Ezra a ring and see how much he wants for it.
Yeah, that's the thing to do. Let me see that letter there once, Lum. Doggy, this sounds too good to be true, you know.
Here, take it and read it. Interesting.
Jules Bird, doggy. Let's see here. At the time of the story, my grandparents... Say, Lum, what does this feller print all the letter T's there up higher than the other letters there? Look here how this is wrote.
Huh, I never noticed that.
Yeah, look here.
More than likely there's something wrong with these typewriters all.
Yeah, about what it is. Every T is up higher than the rest of the letter.
Wait a minute. Hello? Who is this, Ezra? Well, this is Lum Eddards.
Doggy, Jules.
Oh, Talbot. Say, listen, Ezra, what would you want for that old worthless piece of property you own?
I dig that place.
No, I mean the old Hurley place.
Like a mole.
Oh, you did, huh? Ah, I see. Well, that's all I want to know. Just curiosity more than anything else, I reckon. Yeah, all right, Ezra. Sorry I troubled you. Goodbye. Yeah, that ain't so good.
What's the matter? Won't he sell it?
He don't own it.
Huh?
About 6 or 7 years ago, he sold it to Squire Skimp.
To Squire?
Yeah, of all people.
Hmm.
That means the price will be just about twice as much as I figured it ought to be.
Yeah, well, we don't care how much we have to pay for it, do we? Might be $1 million worth of jewels there for all we know, Lum.
Yeah, that's right.
Why, sure it is.
Of course, the lower the price, the more profits we make out of it.
Doggies, wait a minute, though. I just happen to think of something, Lum. We ain't got no money to buy nothing with. Can't even pay that bill from a wholesale house.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we can sign a note for it or something like that.
Can.
Don't worry, I can figure that part of it out some way.
Doggies, I can't hardly wait to get a shovel in my hand and get over there. Oh, look out there, Lum. Look who's coming. This must be our lucky day.
Well, I do know. Squire Skimp.
Is he still mad at us for selling that no-good apartment house plan for $50?
No, I don't think so. I've saw him several times since then. He don't never mention it.
He don't, huh?
But for goodness sake, now, don't you mention what we want that property for.
Oh, no, I won't say a word about it.
This'll give us a chance to get even with that guy once and for all.
Yeah. Mind out.
Now, we never would get it from him if he knowed about them jewels and silver things buried.
Be quiet.
Well, howdy, Squire. Come on back.
Yes, gentlemen.
Mighty proud to see you, Squire.
Thank you, Lum.
You been out doing some business? I see you got your briefcase with you.
Oh, yes. I had a few little matters of business to attend to. Yes, Lum.
Squire, I understand you own that old rundown Hurley property.
Hurley property?
Yeah.
No, I don't believe I do. Well, now, wait a minute. Yes. I guess I do own that. Why, yes, I believe that's the place that I bought from Ezra Seastrunk about 6 or 7 years ago. Why, I'll never know, though.
Well, what would you sell it for, Squire?
Oh, I don't know, Lum. $400 or $500, I guess.
$400 or $500?
Yes.
Pennies, it ain't worth that much.
Well, no, to be frank, Lum, it isn't, but I'd like to try to get that price. However, just between us, I could be easily talked down to about $250, I think.
You could, huh?
Yes, that property's in pretty bad condition, Lum.
All right, Squire, you just made yourself a deal, then.
A deal? With you, Lum?
Yes, sir. You'll sell it to us, won't you?
Why, yes, I'll be glad to sell it to you, Lum, but what in the world do you fellas want with a place like that?
Oh, we just wanted to...
We're going to put up a lemonade stand.
A lemonade stand? Well, that isn't any location for a stand, Abner. Nobody ever goes near that place. That road is hardly ever used over there anymore.
Yeah, well, we figured we wouldn't have no competition over there that way.
Well, I don't know, Abner. I don't believe I'd advise such a business venture as that.
Well, that ain't the only reason we want it, Squire. You see, I'm sort of figuring on building myself a place sometime, I think, when I get enough money saved up.
Oh, well, now, Lum, you can find yourself a better place to build than over there. Why, I can show you one of the best places in this whole town to build a house, Lum. I have one beautiful lot overlooking picturesque Pine Ridge, a tree-covered paradise that I'll tell you, Lum.
Wait a minute, Squire. No need of you wasting that sales talk on me, 'cause my mind's made up. I want to buy that other place or none at all.
Well, if that's what you want, well, all right, Lum, but I still think that you could do a lot better.
I'm satisfied.
Well, let's see. By the way, I have some deeds here to several pieces of property I own right here in this briefcase. Let me take a look here. That might be in there with these others.
Of course, there's one thing, Squire. We ain't got the cash right now.
Oh, tut. Don't worry about that, Lum. You can sign a note. Let's see, now, I've got some, here's these deeds here. Yes, looky here. By George, we're in luck, gentlemen. Here's a deed to that very piece of property right here.
If you just make out the note, Squire, we're all set.
Well, let's see. I did have some blank notes here, too. Yes, here's one. Now my fountain pen.
There it is in your pocket.
Yes, thank you, Lum, thank you. Let's see. I promised to pay M.K. Skimp the sum of... how much did we agree on, Lum? What'd I say I'd take?
$250, you said.
Oh, yes, that's what I said. Forgot myself. You see, now, 6% of that, 6 times all told, 6 times 5, 30, 6 times 2 is 12. $123 in it. Make, $373 altogether. Now, right here, sign right here now, Lum, right there. Put your name there.
L. Eddards.
Yes.
Here, Abner, sign right under my name.
Yeah. Abner Peabody.
Yeah. There you are, Squire.
Well, here's a deed to your property, Lum. I still think you're making a mistake, but maybe you know what you're doing. Well, I've got to get back to the place. A lot of business these days. I'll see you gentlemen soon, I trust. A good day, man.
Yeah, good day, Squire.
No, I almost laughed right in his face. You hear him? Said maybe we knowed what we was doing.
Is he going to kick himself when he finds out what we actually are going to do with it?
Yeah.
Let me see that deed, Abner.
Yeah, wait a minute. Look here, Lum.
Huh?
Did Squire do the typing on the deed here?
I don't know. I reckon he did. Why?
Well, look here. All the T's, them letter T's, they're up higher than the rest of the letters, just like in that letter from Mr. Trafford there. Look here.
Huh? Why, that snake in there...
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
Aye, Doggy's Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, by writing a fake letter that told of buried jewels and valuable silver pieces, Squire Skimp tricked Lum and Abner into buying a worthless piece of property. After Squire had left, the old fellows discovered that the letter had been written on Squire's typewriter, and thus they realized that M.K. Skimp had swindled them again. As we look in on the little community today, we find Lum in the Jot 'em Down store and library, and Abner is just entering. Listen.
Abner, how many times do I have to tell you not to slam that screen door?
I'm sorry, I forgot. Doggy's Lum, you ought to see Cedric over at that old Hurley place.
What's he doing over there?
He's over there just digging for all he's worth. I reckon I ought to have told him about that letter we got from Mr. Trafford telling about them buried jewels and stuff over there.
Well, didn't you tell him that was a fake letter? That it was actually wrote by Squire Skimp?
Why, sure, I told him, but you know Cedric, he wouldn't believe that part of it. He's bound and determined that he's going to dig till he finds a treasure, he says.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Why, he's got holes dug all over that place. Looks like a big gopher's been working over there. Well, for the land's sakes, if he ain't got an arv...
Who ain't got an arv? Cedric?
No, Squire Skimp. Look at him there. Coming up there just as big as life, starting right in here.
Well, I phoned him and asked him to come over here. I want to have a talk with him.
After he tricked us into buying that no-good piece of property, I thought you said you weren't going to have no more to do with him long.
Well, that's what I want to talk to him about, Abner. I've decided he ain't going to get away with this.
Huh?
I'm going to try to get our money back or get back that note we signed.
Oh.
We ain't got no $250 to throw away on a worthless piece of ground.
$373 is what it was.
Well, yeah, with the interest added onto it.
Oh, yeah.
I still don't see how he figured that much interest. But he done it so fast, I couldn't follow him.
No, mind out there. Yeah, howdy, Squire.
Yeah, howdy, Squire. Come on back.
Well, gentlemen, marvelous weather we're having. Wonderful day.
Uh-huh.
You wanted to see me about some little matter, did you, Lum?
Yeah, but it ain't no little matter, Squire. It's a $373 matter. We want our note back.
What's that, Lum? You want your note back?
Yes, sir. We don't want to have no part of that rundown piece of property you sold us.
That's our time, Lum.
Well, now, just a minute here, Lum. I sold you that property fair and legal.
Well, I don't believe you did.
Yes, I did,
Either
too.
fair or legal.
I did, Lum. As a matter of fact, I never sold it to you. You bought it. It was your own idea. You asked me to sell you that lot, Lum. I didn't approach you on the matter. In fact, you begged me to.
Yeah, but you just tricked us into saying that.
Why, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of. If you will recall, Lum, I even tried to talk you out of buying that lot, and you wouldn't listen to me.
I know you did, but that was just a part of the scheme. You wrote that letter to us yourself, and you know it.
Letter? What letter is that, Lum?
Don't act so innocent, Squire. You know what I mean. The letter was signed O.W. Trafford, Jr., but we got proof that it was actually you that wrote it.
Proof? Why, that's ridiculous, Lum. I never heard of such a store in my life.
Ridiculous.
Yes, it is.
Well, you better get that letter T fixed on your typewriter before you try any more schemes like this.
What's that?
Abner, go get both the letter and the deed that Squire gave us.
Yeah, sure. Whereabouts are they, Lum?
They're back there in the feed room, I think, right on that table next to the printing press.
Oh, yeah, I'll get them.
Well, hurry up.
Well, now, just a minute, Lum. What is all this about a letter T? What are you referring to?
You'll see in just a minute, quick as Abner gets back. See, all the letters T are sort of crooked and up higher than the other letters in the deed and the letter from Mr. Trafford both.
Well, that could be merely a coincidence, Lum. No, you're falsely accusing me here, Lum. Basing your whole case on circumstantial evidence. That's the only thing you have.
Well, I don't know what we're basing it on, but we're aiming to get our note back. I can tell you that right now.
Well, I'm very sorry to see you taking this attitude, Lum. Jumping at conclusions and indicting an innocent man. That's what you're doing. What did you say the name was, Lum? The name of this gentleman that you referred to who wrote you the letter?
Oh, you know as well as I do what his name is. O.W. Trafford, Jr. It's a pretty fancy name you studied up there.
Well, now, right there is just one example of how wrong you are, Lum. I never fabricated that name. There actually was a family by the name of Trafford that lived in Pine Ridge, and there's records to prove it, too.
Well, there might have been some Traffords, for all I know, but none of them wrote that letter. I know that for sure. Goodness, what's keeping Abner? He never can find anything.
Lum, I can take you right into the county seat to the courthouse and show you where at one time there was a Bertram F. Trafford that lived right here in Pine Ridge.
Squire, I better go find them things myself. You wait here, Squire.
Hurry up, Lum. I'm a busy man. Perhaps we better continue this some other time, Lum.
No, you stay right there now. We'll straighten it up right now. I'll be back there.
Well, I haven't time, Lum, to fool around on things like this. Oh, well, hello there, Cedric, my boy.
Morning, Mr. Squire. Wonderful world.
Yes, wonderful world.
Boy. Wonderful world.
Well, what are you so elated and excited about, Cedric?
Is Mr. Abner here?
Why, yes. He's back in the feed room there. Did you want to see him?
Yes, Mom. I wanted to tell him he's all wrong about the old Hurley place.
So what's that?
He said there wasn't no buried treasure over there, but I found them. Boy.
What? Cedric? You found them? What did you find?
Silver dollars.
What?
I've been digging them up over there as fast as I can. I pick one up and dig another shovelful and pick another nut. And dig another shovelful and pick another nut.
Cedric, are you sure about this now?
Oh, yes, Mom. I'll bet you's 1,000,000 or 1,000 of them over there.
Well, I swan to goodness. Cedric, don't say anything about this to Lum or Abner.
Don't say nothing to him about it.
No, don't mention the subject at all, Cedric.
Well, that's the reason I come over here, to tell them about it.
Yes, I know, Cedric, but you see, well, just a minute, my boy, just a minute now. I've got something here for you. Yes, here. Here's a $5 bill. Now, you take that. Run along and enjoy yourself. Go get your girl Clarabelle and take her in the county seat to picture show.
No, Ma, I don't want that. I can get all the money I want. Just dig it up like you do potatoes.
Oh, yes, well, I tell you, Cedric, let me talk to Lum and Abner before you tell them anything about this. Let's just sort of keep this for a surprise for them. Just a secret between me and you.
Surprise, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Play a Josh on him, huh?
That's it, Cedric.
That'll be a good one.
Yes, you're a fine boy, Cedric, fine boy. And another thing, I'm a very busy man today, Cedric, and I came over here to see Lum and Abner on some business, and I must get it done in a hurry, you know. I've got to talk to them. So, wait a minute. Be quiet now. Here they come. Remember, Cedric, this is our little secret now.
Surprise!
No, Cedric, not yet. Oh, well, did you find them, Lum?
Yeah, they'd slipped down back of the table.
Oh, well.
Hello, Cedric.
Hello, Mr. Lum.
Yeah, howdy, Cedric. All right now, Squire. Just look at these papers here, and we'll show you a thing or two. Looky here.
Well, I hardly think that this is a significant point, Abner.
Go ahead and look at them, Squire.
Oh, yes, let's see 'em.
If this deed and that letter weren't wrote on the same typewriter, I'll eat both of them. Look at them T's there. See there how they stick up higher than the other letters?
Yes. Well, I will admit, Lum, there is a slight similarity there, but I still say that it could be merely coincidence. However, now, Lum, if you feel that I've done you an injustice, I'm ready to make amends. Let it never be said that M.K. Skimp ever took an unfair advantage of a friend or a customer. Now, here, Lum. Here's your note right here, and I'll just tear it up before your very eyes.
Oh, wait a minute, though. Let me see if that's sure enough our note you're tearing up.
All right, here, take a look at it yourself. There's your name signed in Abner's right there. That's yours, all right.
Yeah, strange it is.
Yes, well, I'll just tear that right up, Lum, right now before you, so you know that there's nothing wrong with it. And there. Now, if you'll return the deed to me, why, we'll call everything square. And just forget the whole little incident.
Yeah, and the quicker I forget it, the happier I'll be, too. Here, take your old deed.
Yes, much obliged, Lum. Well, I've got to run along now, men, but I trust we'll meet again soon on more friendly terms. Well, good day, gentlemen.
Yeah, so long, Squire.
So long, Squire. Doggies, he sure come across in a hurry, didn't he? You scared him, I believe.
Reckon he's scared of it?
I believe he was.
Yeah, he knowed we had him as soon as we brung out that letter and the deed.
Why, sure. Still, he wouldn't come out flat-foot and admit, though, that he wrote that letter.
Surprise!
Surprise? What'd you say that for, Cedric?
Mr. Squire told me to keep the good news for a surprise for you fellers.
What good news?
About me digging up all them silver dollars over there at the old Hurley place.
Silver dollars? You mean that you actually found them in the ground over there, Cedric?
Yes, Mom. Just kept digging them up. Every shovelful I'd dig, there'd be another $1 there.
Oh, my doggies, you hear that, Lum? Why, there must be buried treasure over there after all.
If that don't beat the bugs to fight.
Oh, me.
Wait a minute. Cedric, did you say you told that to Squire?
Yes, Mom. It was his idea about the surprise.
Huh.
Didn't want me to tell you.
And as I see now why Squire was so anxious to buy back that property.
Why, sure.
Why in the world didn't you tell us before you told him, Cedric?
Well, I was aiming on doing that, but he wouldn't let me.
Why, that snake in the weeds. How many dollars did you pick up, Cedric?
Oh, I don't know. I never counted them. Just put them in my pocket. Just kept putting them in there. Let's see here. I must have about...
Doggies, I wish we went over and done some digging ourselves, Lum.
Well, I'll be dogged. I ain't got no dollars in my pocket.
Huh? No dollars?
No, Mom. I ain't even got my own lucky dollar. You know what I was doing.
No, what?
I got a hole in my pocket here. I was picking up the same dollar all the time.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
Aye, doggies, Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, the bill from the wholesale house is still a pressing matter. But Lum has found one way of helping raise the necessary money. He has postponed his publishing company's efforts to find the great American novel long enough to undertake the less glamorous job of printing some advertising handbills for Dick Huddleston. As we look in on the little community tonight, it is late evening, and we find Lum and Abner in the feed room working on the printing press. Listen.
Oh, me. Doggies, Lum, I'm getting tired. Can't I go home now?
No, now we got to get these handbills all printed up tonight. Dick Huddleston wants them the first thing in the morning. Go ahead and get that press started.
Well, wait a minute, Lum. Look there. It's after 10 o'clock. I'm getting sleepy.
Abner, if you'd talk less and work more, we'd get this job done. Then you could go home.
Well, I thought you was going to get Mousy Gray to help you with this.
I was, but he never wanted to do it. I think he's mad at me for not publishing any of that junk he's writing.
You mean them poems of his'n?
Oh, he's been writing novels, too, but I told him I weren't interested in none of it, no way.
Weren't, huh?
Think maybe I hurt his feelings. I don't know.
Well...
Abner, get them papers straight on the press. Now, watch what you're doing there.
Well, Lum, I'm getting sleepy. Now, I believe I'll just go on home.
No, you ain't going to do no such a thing.
Oh.
We need the money Dick is paying us for these handbills, and we need it bad.
Well, I know that, but, doggies, there's a limit to how much work a feller can do in one day, Special a little short feller like me.
You ain't so little. Besides, this ain't hard work.
It is, too.
If we can get one more job like this one, we can pay off that bill from the wholesale house. That is, if we can keep taking in as much money in the store as we have the last couple of days.
Yeah, say, by the way, where is that money? I looked in the cash drawer this afternoon, and there wasn't hardly none there.
Well, I hid most of it in our regular place.
Oh, you mean the big clock up on the wall in there?
Yeah. Never wanted to take no chances leaving it in the cash drawer.
Oh.
Not with them robberies we've been having in town lately.
No. Well, have they caught them fellers yet that robbed the gas station the other night?
No, but they're mighty nigh sure it's the same fellers that broke in Luke Spear's restaurant.
Well, I hope they hurry up and catch 'em. 'Cause there's one thing I don't like to have around. It's a bunch of robbers going... Oh, wait a minute. Lum, did you hear that?
Huh?
That sounded like that screen door opened up there.
Yeah, it did, didn't it? And it wouldn't be nobody coming in this time of night.
You don't reckon it could be them,
I don't know, Abner. Maybe you better go and look.
No, you better go look, Lum. I'll get these handbills printed here. That's
Abner,
what I'll do.
Don't be a coward. All you got to do is just stick your head through the door there, and you can see if anybody come in. The store's all lit up.
Yeah, all right, but if anything happens to me now, you're going to be sorry. No, nobody there.
Well, you never even looked yet. Stick your head clean through the door. Take a good look.
Yeah, all right. Hello? Hello, who is it? Oh, ain't nobody there, Lum.
I didn't think you would be. More than likely just the wind.
Just about what it was. Wind blowed the door open. Now, wait a minute. Doggies, there's a big envelope laying there on the floor, just inside the screen door. Look up there, Lum.
Envelope?
Yeah.
For
Looks
goodness
like
sake, run up and see what it is, Abner.
I ain't going up there by myself now. You got to come along with me now, Lum.
Goodness sakes. All right, come on.
Yeah, come on.
Scaredy cat.
Oh, I ain't.
Boy, didn't think I was your papa instead of your business partner.
Well, that might be a bomb up there. I don't know.
Bombs don't come in envelopes.
Well, maybe they got a new kind or something. Doggies, Lum, look how your hands are shaking.
They ain't shaking no such a thing.
There, Donnie.
Just natural and Narvis type. Lots of fellers in the literary business are Narvis and high-strung.
Well, are they pale in the face, too?
Abner, don't talk so much. Just pick up that envelope and see what's in it.
Let's see. It's addressed to the Eddards and Eddards Publishing Company. Oh, well, here. You want it, Lum?
No, you go ahead and open it up.
Well, let's see here. Look in here and see what it says. Doggies, this looks like some sort of a manuscript, I believe, Lum.
Manuscript?
Yeah, look here. Here it is.
You'd be bringing in a manuscript this time of night.
I don't know. Name's right here on it, though. It says, Chapter 1 of the mysterious case of Evelyn Ermyntrude by Jorg Narwell.
Jorg Narwell?
Yeah.
Who's he?
I don't know. That's what it says here, though. By Jorg Narwell, the Phantom Author.
Phantom Author?
Yeah.
Well, man sakes, what kind of a thing are we getting into here?
I don't know. There's a Phantom feller that I've saw in the Sunday Funny papers, Lum. He sort of wears long purple tights and with a hood fastened on it. Reckon it could be him?
No, of course not. That fellow you seen is just in the funny papers. He ain't real.
Oh, well, I didn't think he was. I don't believe no real feller run around in them long tights that way, especially when they was purple.
You know, I bound you somebody just pranking us, Abner.
Pranking us?
That Phantom Author part there. Sounds suspicious to me.
Well, reckon who could be, Lum? I know there ain't nobody in town by that name. Jorg Narwell. That sounds like he's some sort of a fern or something.
Yeah, well, I admit he's got me stumped. Is there actual story wrote there?
Yeah, all type wrote out here. Leastwise part of it is.
What do you mean, part of it?
Well, I was just looking at this last page here, and it says, to be continued.
Well, I do know.
Yeah, right
Maybe
there.
we ought to read this and see what it's all about. The whole thing looks awful curious to me.
Yeah, well, here, you take it then, Lum. You're a better out-loud reader than me. You read it.
Chapter 1 of the mysterious case of Evelyn Ermyntrude.
Well?
It was a cold, foreboding wintry night that Evelyn Ermyntrude silently slipped out of her bedroom and stole into the large room at the end of the hall. Evelyn Ermyntrude smiled mysteriously through half-closed eyelids. Grannies, how could she do that, smile through her eyelids?
I don't know. More likely some trick to it, I reckon.
Smiled mysteriously through half-closed eyelids as she crossed the threshold. Perhaps she was thinking about the many times her stepfather had told her never to go into that room.
Well...
Never go in that room, he always said to her.
He did, huh?
But Evelyn would just nod her head and smile mysteriously through half-closed eyelids.
Doggy, she's getting good at that, ain't she?
Or perhaps she was thinking about the mysterious and horrible secrets that would soon be revealed to her within the forbidden room.
Oh, me.
No sooner had Evelyn closed the door behind her and started hunting for the light switch than she heard a loud knocking. Cold chills ran down her back.
Lum, did you hear anything?
Hey, sounded like somebody knocking, didn't it?
Yeah, sorta, I believe.
Open the door, Abner, see if there's anybody out there.
I ain't going to do it now, Lum.
Well, I'll do it then.
Well, go ahead.
If anybody's pranking us, I want to find out who it is. More than likely just some young'uns.
Ain't no young'uns out this time of night, I'll tell you that right now.
Be quiet.
Young'uns.
Hello? Hello? Anybody out here? Hello? Hello?
Hi, doggies. It's that Phantom feller, Lum. That's who it is. I know that Phantom in a funny paper can make himself invisible.
Oh, it ain't no such a thing, Abner. I bound you Gomer Bates is mixed up in this some way.
Well, Gomer ain't no Phantom.
I know that. Let's see, where was we at? Cold chills ran.
Lum, let's not read no more of that story.
Don't be silly, Abner. The story can't hurt us none.
Can't.
Chills ran down her back and her hair stood on end.
Which end?
And don't say.
Oh.
She ran to the door, flung it open, but was horrified to find nobody there.
My doggies, that's just what happened to us just now, Lum. I don't think we better read any more of that, Lum.
That was just a coincidence, Abner.
You can't tell.
What happened here ain't got nothing to do with the story, I don't think.
Ain't, huh?
Of course, it does seem sort of curious, that knock coming just when it did.
Why, of course it does. Don't you reckon we ought to go on home, Lum?
Well, let's read a little more here and see what happened.
Oh, me.
Here we are. But was horrified to find nobody there.
We never neither.
Evelyn Ermyntrude quickly closed the door and locked it.
That's a smart thing to do.
Then she began a hurried search of the forbidden room. She told herself that she must work fast. I must work fast, she said through half-closed eyelids.
She better get them eyes of hers open, I'll tell her that.
Just as she was approaching a huge, foreboding closet door, the door slowly opened, and Evelyn froze in her tracks as a ghost emerged from the closet.
Lum, look back here. Lum, look back here in the feed room, Lum. Uh-oh, it's gone.
What's gone?
The ghost.
Ghost?
Why, sure, I seen one back there just now, Lum.
Oh, you sure your imagination ain't getting the best of it?
No, sir, Lum, I seen it now. Honest, I did.
Well, there ain't no such a thing as ghosts, though, Abner. You must imagine.
I never imagined nothing. Come on now, let's go home, Lum.
Wait,
Come on.
Something tells me we ought to finish reading this story, Abner.
Lum, please don't read no more there.
I got to. The ghost reached out two long, claw-like hands and started in Evelyn's direction.
Poor little Evelyn.
Evelyn could not move. Just as she could feel the claws tightening about her neck.
Oh, my goodness.
A clock struck 1, and the ghost vanished.
Oh.
Evelyn swung around to look at the clock, which had saved her life, but as her eyes fell upon it, the clock struck twice more, and then disappeared into thin air. Evelyn fainted.
Lum.
What's the matter, Evelyn?
Look up there on the wall. Our clock.
Our clock.
Here, look, Lum. It's gone.
Oh, my goodness. And all our money was in it, too. We've been robbed. Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
Aye, doggies, Lum, I believe you're right.
Now, see. Hello, John 'em Down store. This is Lum and Abner.
Let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, strange things happened the other night. While printing handbills late in the evening, Lum and Abner received the first chapter of a manuscript addressed to the Eddards and Eddards Publishing Company and entitled The Mysterious Case of Evelyn Ermyntrude by Yarg Nilewell, the Phantom Author. Strangely, the incidents mentioned in the story mysteriously took place in the store that night, including the disappearance of the clock from the wall. And it was in this clock that Lum had hidden the money from their cash drawer. As we look in on the little community today, we find Abner in the Jot 'em Down store and library. Lum is just entering. Listen.
Oh, morning, Lum.
Yeah, morning, Abner.
Hey, doggies, you look like you never got no sleep last night. What's the matter?
I never.
Huh?
Just laid there and tried to figure out this Phantom Author thing.
Oh.
Never slept a wink.
Huh.
Here, let me sit down.
Yeah, you look wore out, Lum.
I'm wore to a frazzle. Wore to a frazzle.
Well, I hate to tell you, but here's something else to figure out, too. Another one come this morning.
Huh?
Another chapter that the mysterious case of Evelyn Ermyntrude come this morning.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, it was stuck in the door when I opened up there this morning.
Granny's Abner, we just got to figure out where them things are coming from. That's all they are to it.
Well, it's that phantom that's bringing them, Lum, and he's invisible, so we can't see him when he comes in.
Prittle prattle. Ain't no feller that's actually invisible, Abner. Just read too many funny papers. That's your trouble.
Well, how about that ghost I seen in the feed room the other night?
Abner, you couldn't have saw no ghost, 'cause there ain't no such a thing.
Ain't, huh?
If there was a ghost in here that night, I could have saw him too, couldn't I?
Well, you just never looked quick enough. Your trouble. I know I seen him, Lum. He was standing right back there, and I seen him.
Just your imagination working, so just try and forget it.
Well, how about that clock disappearing off from the wall right while we was in the store and all our money disappearing with it?
Yeah, well, that's what we got to figure out right there.
I wish we could.
Whoever done it must have known that we hid our money in the clock.
Why, sure.
But I don't see why he went to all the trouble of sending us the first chapter of a mystery story just to rob us out of that money.
Well, it said right in the store that a clock was disappearing right in front of Evelyn Ermyntrude's eyes. Fact is, everything that happened to Evelyn in that store happened to us while we was reading it, Lum.
Yeah, that's the curious part of this whole thing. And here's something else that's got me stumped. If the feller just wanted to rob us, why is he still hanging around town sending us more chapters of that story?
I don't know. All I know is, Lum, that there's a ghost mixed up in this somewhere or other.
Well, I ain't scared of no ghost. But I am afeard of what this Phantom Author feller wants with us.
Wants with us?
You know, Abner, our lives might be in danger.
Our lives? Oh, don't say that now, Lum. Don't say that.
Well, I don't know what else he's after. We ain't got no more money for him to rob. He's got that.
Yeah.
And there ain't nothing else in the store that's awful valuable.
No, I reckon he ain't.
What does that new chapter say?
Huh?
Does that tell anything that might give us a clue of some kind?
I don't know. I ain't had nerve enough to read it. Leastways, not while I'm in the store here by myself.
Let's see. What chapter is that? We got one first night, and then 3 more yesterday. That must be chapter 5.
Must be, I reckon. Well, here, you can read it if you want to. I know I ain't going to do it. Here, take the thing. I don't want it.
Let's see. Whereabouts did we leave Evelyn Ermyntrude in the last chapter?
Why, she fainted when she seen the ghost in that forbidden room. I recollect that.
Well, that was in the first chapter she done that.
Huh?
Then the next morning she come to and found herself back in her own room, don't you recollect?
Oh, yeah.
And she decided she'd go right to her steppapa and ask him flat-footed what was in that room.
That's right.
But when she got in his room, she found that he'd just been poisoned.
Doggy, that's right, ain't it? I forgot about him getting poisoned. Lum, I don't think I feel so good.
Now, wait a minute, Abner. You ain't poisoned.
Huh?
You'd be a heap sicker than this if you was.
Well, everything else in that store has happened to us, Lum.
No, not everything. We ain't been thrown in the furnace like the butler was in chapter 3.
No.
Or we ain't been stuffed into a clothes basket like somebody done to the maid in chapter 4.
Yeah, but just the same, I don't think I feel pretty good, Lum.
Abner, that's just your imagination working again. Let's see here what happens in this new chapter.
Lum, don't read no more of that now. I don't want to hear it.
Well, it's the only way we can find out what happens to Evelyn and all.
No.
Chapter 5 of the mysterious case of Evelyn Ermyntrude by Yarg Nilewell, the Phantom Author.
I wish he wouldn't put his name down on every chapter. That gives me the creeps.
Now, be quiet now. The strange incidents of the past few days had struck terror into the heart of Evelyn Ermyntrude.
And me.
And she was beginning to look like some wild hunted creature.
I know just how she feels.
She realized with alarm that the household was dwindling fast. First it was her stepfather, then the butler, now the maid.
Oh,
Evelyn was alone in the old mansion, except for her stepmother and the ghost.
he weren't there the other night. He was right here in this store.
Oh, he weren't no such
He
a
was
thing.
done it
Well,
now, Lum.
be quiet. Who committed these crimes, and what secret does the forbidden room hold?
But, Lum, now, don't read that like that. Don't make it no scarier than it is.
Where was I at?
Huh?
Who committed these crimes, and what secret does the forbidden room hold? Evelyn asked herself over and over again. She knew it could not be her stepmother, because she had long been an invalid, confined to her bed.
It was that ghost, that's who it was.
Abner, I told you to forget about him.
Go on.
So Evelyn decided she would go to her stepmother's room and ask her if she knew anything about the secret of the forbidden room.
I wish she'd find it.
Gathering up all her courage, Evelyn went upstairs and tapped on her stepmother's room. Hearing no answer, she went in. And there, before her startled eyes, Evelyn saw an empty bed.
He got her stepmama, too. That's what he did.
She turned to flee from the room, but the door was locked. Then she heard a low, fiendish laugh. Ha, 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 ha.
Lum, now, don't laugh that way now, Lum. Don't do that.
Evelyn whirled around, and terror struck into her heart.
Lum.
Hey, shut that. For there, stepping out of a secret panel,
Lum.
its claws, hands reaching out, was the ghost.
Lum. There he is, Lum.
Huh?
There's a ghost coming in the front door there. Look
Oh,
there,
my
Lum.
goodness.
I told you I seen him the other night.
Dennis, I never thought they'd come in the
Go
daytime.
on, get away from here now. Get out of here. Get out.
Wonderful world.
Huh? Did you say wonderful world?
Yes, Mom.
Doggy, how'd he learn to say that, Lum?
Wait a minute, that voice is familiar. Is that you, Cedric?
Yes, Mom. Did I scare you, fellas?
Oh, for the land's sake. Cedric, get that ghost outfit off now so I can tell for sure.
Yes, Mom, I'll take it on.
Well, get that thing off of there.
Dennis, what's the big idea of all this nonsense, Cedric? You might not scare the daylights out of us. Or out of Abner, leastways.
Did I sure enough?
Well, I weren't actually scared, I don't think. Just a little, maybe.
And where in the world did you get this story about Evelyn Ermyntrude?
Story? What story?
Why, the one you've been sending us chapter at a time. And what did you do with our clock, too?
I never done nothing with your clock.
Well, weren't you in the store the other night in your ghost outfit, Cedric?
No, Mom. Never had this on before today.
Huh?
I just now found it out there in the back of the store.
Found it?
Sort of hid up under the loading platform back there.
It was?
Yes, Mom.
Dennis, there must be a phantom author after all, then, Abner. Leastways, we know he ain't no ghost, though.
Well, maybe the ghost just wears this outfit at night, Lum. Maybe it's too hot for him to wear it in the daytime.
Don't be silly, Abner. Ghosts couldn't do no such a thing as that.
Hey, Doggy, Lum, you reckon our clock might be hid back there under that loading platform, too?
No, I don't reckon so. More likely made off with that. Or at least he's taking the money out of it.
Well, I believe I better go back there and take a look for it.
Say, Cedric, have you ever heard of anybody with the name of Yard Nilewell?
No, Mom, I don't think I have. Is he a feller in that story you was talking about?
No, he's the feller that's supposed to have wrote it.
Well, I wished you'd read it to me, Mr. Lum. I just love to hear stories. Boy.
Well, let's see here. Sort of anxious to hear how this comes out myself. Where was I at? Yeah. Stepping out of a secret panel, its claw hands reaching out, was the ghost.
Ghost? Oh, is this story about me? The one you're reading?
No, of course not. As the long claw hands came close and closer to Evelyn, she gave a loud scream and ran toward the window. But before she could reach it, the floor suddenly opened up, and Evelyn Ermyntrude disappeared.
Gee. Whereabouts did she disappear to, Mr. Lum? Read what's next there.
Well, that's all he is, Cedric. It says here, to be continued. That's the way this story's been coming, chapter at a time. And he always puts on there, to be continued.
Oh, I'm on it anyway. I'd sure like to know where she... Say, where's Mr. Abner?
Abner? Why, he's right. Abner? Abner? Abner! Whereabouts are you at, Abner? Hey, Abner!
He was here just a minute ago.
Oh, my goodness, Cedric. Abner's disappeared. Just like in the story.
Was Abner in the story, too?
What was that?
I don't know. It sounded like glass breaking. Oh, looky there. Somebody throwed a rock through the window. And there's a note tied on it, Mr. Lum.
A note?
Yes, Mom. Here, I'll get it for you.
Granny, Cedric. I don't know what's going on here, but it's got to stop. That's all there are to it.
Here you are, Mr. Lum. Here, read that. See what it says.
It says, do you want to know where Evelyn Ermyntrude is? Be in your store tomorrow night at 12 midnight. The Phantom Author will reveal all.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
I dog it, Lum. I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, Jot 'em Down store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, the plot gets considerably thicker as more chapters of the mysterious case of Evelyn Ermyntrude by the Phantom Author continue to arrive at the Edwards and Edwards Publishing Company. The last strange act was the simultaneous disappearance of Abner and heroine Ermyntrude. However, the last notice from the Phantom Author stated that he would reveal all if Lum would be in his store tonight at midnight. As we look in on the little community today, it's approaching the midnight hour. We find a worried and puzzled Lum in the Jot 'em Down store and library. Cedric is with him. Listen.
What time is it, Cedric?
Well, I just got through telling you about 2 seconds ago, Mr. Lum.
Oh, I reckon I never heard you. What time did you say it was?
Oh, I forget now. I'll have to look at my watch again.
Say, Cedric, I wish you'd take that ghost outfit and hang it somewhere else. Every time I look at it hanging up in the corner there, I think it's a real live ghost.
Well, I sort of like it back there. Seems friendly. It's exactly 3 minutes till 12, Mr. Lum.
3 minutes, huh?
Reckon that Phantom Author will get here right smack at midnight?
Well, that's what he said in the note he throwed through our window yesterday. Said he'd be here and reveal everything.
Well, I sure hope he gets here so I can find out what happened to Evelyn Ermyntrude.
And I don't care nothing about her. Who I want to find out about is Abner. Granny, if that Phantom feller did any harm to Abner, I'm going to hit him right on top of the head and then tear him limb from limb.
Are you going to tell him to bring back the clock and your money?
No, I don't care about losing the money. Abner's the important thing right now. Where'd you put them clubs, Cedric?
Right there, leaning up against the counter there.
Oh, yeah. Might need them.
Well, that baseball bat's for me now.
All right. No telling how big and tough this Phantom Author might be.
Hey, Mr. Lum, don't you reckon we ought to have more light in here so we can get a good look at him whenever he comes in?
No, if we turn all the lights on, somebody's liable to wake up and see him, and then he'll get curious and want to know what's going on, and first thing we know, there'll be a big crowd of people out there in front. And if the Phantom sees a big crowd, he might not come in then.
Well, I sure like to find out about Evelyn Ermyntrude. Reckon what happened to her when she fell through that hole in the floor in the story?
I don't know, and I don't care.
Was sort of curious about her stepmama being missing from her bed, weren't it?
I reckon so, Cedric. What time is it now?
Just a minute, I'll look at my watch. Uh-oh. Look here, Mr. Lum. Front door's opening.
Oh, my goodness. Quick, Cedric, grab them clubs. Hurry up, hand me one up.
Fistball.
Get ready now. Here he comes. And look there. He's wearing a mask.
What, you want me to hit him now?
No, not yet.
Ooh, ooh.
Just stop where you are, Phantom Author, and take your mask off or we'll hit you right on top of the head.
Yes, sir. Well, I'll take it off. Don't hit me, Lum. Wait a minute now. I'll get it off. There. Yeah, it's off now.
Well, for the land sakes. Mousy Gray.
Yes, sir. Are you surprised, Lum?
Well, where's the Phantom Author? He's the feller I want to see.
Oh, well, I'm the Phantom Author, Cedric.
Just a minute, Mousy. You can't be the Phantom Author, 'cause his name's Yarg Nilewell.
Yes, sir, I can too, Lum, because, see, Yarg Nilewell, why, that's just my name turned around backwards. See, Yarg is Gray spelled backwards. Y-A-R-G is Yarg, and G-A-R-Y is Gray. And Nilewell is Llewellyn spelled backwards.
Granny's it is, ain't it?
Yes, sir.
I still can't believe it, though. Mousy, you can't be the Phantom Author.
Yes, sir, honest I am, Lum, honest.
Well, all right, I see you prove it. Tell me whereabouts Abner's at.
Oh, why, he's right outside. Come on in, Abner.
Outside? Is he all right?
Well, howdy, Lum. Cedric?
Abner, speak to me. Are you hurt?
Why, no, I'm all right. Feel fine. Never felt better in my life.
Say, Mr. Abner, how did you disappear yesterday? Was that done by magic somewhere?
Why, no. No, there weren't no magic to it, Cedric. See, whilst you and Lum was reading that story, why, I just went out and back to see if I could find that clock of ours hid out there under that loading platform or something.
Did you find it?
No, but I found Mousy, and he told me what he's up to and all, so I decided to help out with his plan and play like I'd disappeared, sort of mysterious.
Well, I'll be John Brown.
Yeah, wasn't that a good one?
You mean you deliberate joined up with Mousy in this nonsense and let me worry myself half sick to death about you?
Well, I never aimed for you to worry, Lum, but see, it was part of the plan, part of Mousy's plan, that is.
Well, just exactly what is this big plan? That's what I want to know.
Well, it isn't really my plan, Lum. It was, well, Gussie was the one that thought it up.
Gussie?
Yes, sir.
What's she got to do with all this?
Well, she had me do all these things to get you interested in my novel, The Mysterious Case of Evelyn Ermytrud. That was the idea for her.
Well, if that don't beat the bugs of fighting.
See, I kept bringing my poems and the things that I'd write in for you to look at, Lum, and you wouldn't look at none of it, so Gussie figured that we'd get you to read this, why, then maybe you'd get interested in it and buy it and publish it, so that's why we did it.
Well, Granny, that outcaps anything I ever heard before in my whole life.
Yes, sir.
Well, what happened to Evelyn Ermytrud?
Hush up, Cedric.
Lum, that weren't no ghost I seen in the store the other night after all. That was just Mousy here.
Yeah, I done figured that out myself.
Well, the ghost was Gussie's idea, too. She made that whole costume by herself, sewed the whole thing together.
Well, was it her idea to throw a rock through our window yesterday?
Oh, well, I'm sorry about that, Lum. I thought the window was open when I threw it. I didn't mean to break the window glass out for
Well,
you.
you're going to pay for breaking it, I can tell you that right now.
Yes, sir. Well, I will, Lum. I'll
And
pay
just
you.
a minute, here's another thing. Mousy, you and Gussie are under arrest for robbing our store.
Well, wait a minute now, Lum. Don't go too fast now. He never robbed us. Mousy never.
Our money's gone, ain't it?
Well, yeah, but see, Mousy never knowed about us putting that money in the clock. Facts is, the money's still all inside the clock. He never taken a nickel of it.
How do you know?
Well, he told me, and I believed him.
Well, whereabouts is the clock then?
Why, it's back of the counter where it hid under some potato sacks. It never was out of the store even.
For goodness sake.
No, sir.
Well, what happened to Evelyn Ermytrud, huh? What happened to her?
Well, I'll tell you, Cedric. Mousy, let me read the last chapter. I wanted to find out myself. You see, when Evelyn... Wait a minute. Where are you going, Lum?
I'm going home and get some sleep.
Huh?
I ain't hardly had no sleep for the last 2 nights.
Well, wait a minute. Don't you want to hear what happened to Evelyn Ermytrud?
No, I don't. And what's more, I hope I never hear her name mentioned again as long as I live.
Oh, Lum.
What did happen to her?
Oh, well, good. Well, you recollect she fell through a hole in the floor and disappeared?
Yeah.
Well, see, that was a sort of a trap door in the floor there, and it had a spring on it that when they pushed this button, why, the trap door sprung, and that trap door led down into some sort of a cellar or something, weren't it, Mousy?
It was a secret dungeon is what it was, Abner.
Yeah, that's right, dungeon. I couldn't think of that name. And see, down in that dungeon, why, there was a bunch of ferocious lions down in there.
Oh, my goodness.
But she was too smart for 'em, Evelyn was. See, she used to go with a feller one time that was a lion tamer, and she recollected how he tamed lions. He'd showed her how he tamed them, so she just stared him right square in the eye, looked right at him, and they was afeard of her.
Through half-closed eyelids, huh?
Yeah, I believe it was, wasn't it, Mousy?
Yes, sir, that's what it said, through half-closed eyelids.
Well, what happened to Evelyn Ermyntrude?
Well, that's who I'm talking about, Cedric. So next, why, she climbed out of the dungeon and, Then she went up to that there forbidden room that she's always going in. And in there, why, she seen her stepmama, and her stepmama was just taking off a ghost outfit.
She was the ghost, huh?
Yeah,
The one with the long claw-like hand.
Yeah, that was her. And then Evelyn seen her take an insurance policy out of a secret panel. It was $1 million policy that Evelyn's uncle had bought for her.
Granny's $1 million.
Yeah, see, her stepmama had been aiming on getting shut of Evelyn and collecting the insurance money.
That snake in the weeds.
Oh, she was bad, yeah.
Did she have anything to do with the step-papa and the butler and the maid getting murdered?
Yeah, she didn't want to divide the money up with the step-papa, so she poisoned him, and the butler and the maid seen her do it, so she had to get shut of them, too.
Just as I figured.
Well.
Just as I had it figured out. What did Evelyn do when she seen her stepmama in the forbidden room?
Why, she didn't have to do nothing, 'cause, see, one of the lions had followed Evelyn up the stairs, and she seen the lion seen her stepmama and ate her. And then Evelyn married the lion tamer, and they lived happy ever after and raised lions.
Good for them. Good for Evelyn.
Well, Lum, there it is. Do you want to publish it for me, the mysterious case of Evelyn Ermyntrude, in a book?
No, Mousy, 1,000 times no.
Well.
I've had all the trouble I want out of that story. Come on, Abner, let's go home and get to bed.
Just a minute, Lum. I wish you'd stay here till I can phone Gussie and have her come over here and get me.
Well, we can't wait for that, Mousy. We got to get some sleep.
Yeah.
Look there, it's after midnight already.
Well, then, will you fellas take me home?
Oh, for goodness sakes, Mousy. What are you so worried about? A fellow that writes mystery stories and calls himself the Phantom Author oughtn't to be worried about walking home by himself.
Well, you see, Lum, I'm not really the Phantom Author.
You ain't?
No, sir.
Well, who is then?
Gussie. She writes all this stuff, and honest, it just scares me to death.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
I dog his Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, Jot 'em Down store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, the mysterious case of Evelyn Ermyntrude was finally solved when the Phantom Author revealed himself to be Mousy Gray, or rather his wife Gussie, with Mousy merely the front man. The case of Lum and Abner's bill from the wholesale house has also been solved, since the old fellow scraped together enough money to cover it. As we look in on the little community today, we find that Lum has just returned from a trip to the county seat to pay that bill. Abner is looking at some packages Lum brought back with him. Listen.
Well, what's in these packages, Lum? A present?
No, just some things I picked up at the printing shop at the county seat.
Oh.
I went over there after I got done paying that bill to the wholesale house.
You did? Well, was the wholesale house glad to get that money?
I don't know. They never acted much like it.
They never.
That little bald-headed feller that wears the spectacles taking the money and never hardly said nothing.
Well, I do know.
Acted just like we owed him that money.
Well, we did owe it to him, didn't we, Lum?
Yeah, that's right, ain't it?
Yeah, we owed him. Yeah.
Well, anyways, I never liked his altitude. From now on, all the business we do at that outfit's going to be done on a cash base. My granny's will show 'em.
Yeah, well, I believe that's what they said, Lum, in that letter we got from them the other day. Said cash base with them.
Next time, I'll take the money in there and pay it to him before we even order anything.
Yeah.
Throw it right in that little feller's face.
Yeah, it's a time. Good for you.
Might throw some of it on the floor, too.
On the floor, huh?
Yeah, make him stoop over and pick it up.
Oh, that'll make him mad. Oh, wait a minute, though. Where are we going to get all this money, Lum?
Oh, don't worry. We'll get it.
We will, huh?
Yeah, I got something here that's going to help with our finances, Abner.
Well,
We're branching out, you know it?
branching out.
Taking on a sideline.
Well, good for us. Wonderful world.
I stopped in at this printing shop to get some pointers on what kind of books they've been publishing lately and all that. And you know what they told me?
No,
They said they never publish no books at all.
they don't.
No, sir. They said just the big publishing houses in the East done that.
Well, I do know. Well, how do they make their money then? They got to make money to stay open.
Oh, they print up stuff for stores and pamphlets and bulletins for churches and greeting cards. They do an awful lot of greeting cards.
Greeting cards.
Yeah, you know, like happy birthday to brother dear and Mother's Day cards and congratulations on wedding anniversaries and new babies and graduation from high school. And
Babies graduating from high school?
no, them 2 different cards.
Oh, I was
Here,
wondering.
look at these. I got a whole batch of samples from the printing shop.
Yeah. Let me look at them. Let me take a look at them.
We can pattern the ones that I'm going to print up after these.
Yeah. Doggy, these look pretty good, you
Ain't
know
that
what?
pretty? Them flowers on there.
Oh, yeah, that's a pretty in there. That little blue ribbon on there, that makes it look awful pretty. Look here, this little envelope comes out here. Yeah, there's a little book of some kind in here. Let's see. Oh, for the land sakes. Looky here.
What's the matter?
Look at that stork there. See there? With that young'un
Oh,
in his
yeah,
mouth
that's for
there?
babies.
Yeah. Here's wishing lots of health and joy to a brand new bouncing baby boy. Well, yeah.
Reckon why they always call them bouncing baby boys.
I don't know. I wondered about that. I saw folks drop them, but I never did see one bounce. They just sort of lay there.
Don't know what they want to send a baby a card for no way. They
No.
can't read yet.
No, save it for
There's a
now.
good one there on Father's Day. Sort of a joshing card. You see that?
Yeah, what does it say?
Oh, I don't recollect. Go ahead and read it.
Is there any Christmas cards in there? That's what I love. I love Christmas.
No, I never got none of them. There wasn't nobody to sell them to around here.
Well, why wouldn't it be, Lum?
Because everybody in town sells them. Leastways, every woman in town does, and might not half the young'uns.
Yeah, generally there's a bunch selling them over
Yeah,
there.
right around Christmas time, they pester the life out of you.
Yeah.
Trying to sell Christmas cards in Pine Ridge is just like carrying coals to Newcastle.
Yeah. Well, I reckon you're right now that I think about it. I don't guess what... Huh?
What do you mean, huh?
Huh, what did you say about carrying coal?
Oh, I said carrying coal to Newcastle. You've heard that before.
Why, no. That's the first time you mentioned it. Whereabouts is Newcastle?
I don't know. It's a town, Summers.
Summers? Well, we better be finding out where it's at if we're going to start making delivers over there.
Making delivers over there.
Yeah, I hope it ain't very far from here, Lum, 'cause I don't believe that truck of ours is strong enough to haul coal very far. And then another thing about the gas rationing and you got to save on rubber tires and all such as that. We better not be trying to put in those delivers way over someplace,
For
Lum.
goodness sakes, Abner.
Whereabouts we going to get that coal from it we're going to haul? Did you order some when you was in at the county seat this morning?
No, of course not. I never ordered no coal there or no place else.
Well, how we going to get it then? We ain't got over 2 or 3 buckets full.
Abner, ain't you never heard that old Eddards saying about carrying coal to Newcastle?
Huh?
You see, Newcastle is a place where there's a whole lot of coal mines, so they got all the coal they want there.
Well, why in the world are we hauling coal over there for then? We won't be able to sell none over there if they got all they want, Lum.
Of course not. That's the whole idea of the saying.
Well, I believe we'd do a heap more business if we'd go to Newcastle and haul the coal back here. We can sell coal around here. Oh, is that what you meant in the first place? You just get it backwards?
No, it ain't. I said what I meant, but I just...
Well, now, if you got your mind made up that it's a good sideline, why, I'll go in with you on it, Lum, but well, I just don't think we'd be able to sell any coal in a place like that, unless we cut our price way down. And we can't make no money that way, Lum, if we got to cut
Abner,
our price.
I never meant this was to be a sideline.
You mean we're quitting the store and going into the coal business for good?
No, we ain't quitting the store.
Oh, well, that's good. Doggy, you had me worried for a minute there.
Look, Abner, let's get this straight once and for all. All I said was that we wasn't going to sell Christmas cards in Pine Ridge, because that'd be like that old Eddards saying. It goes like this. Coals to Newcastle, owls to Athens, peppers...
Owls to Athens.
Something tells me I oughtn't to have said that.
You mean over in Tennessee?
Tennessee?
Yeah, there's a town over there named Athens. Some of Mo's moots relates moved over there about 9 years ago. Don't you recollect Moses' brother that lived here and moved long?
Yeah, I recollect
That's
that.
where he moved, yeah.
I believe this must be some other Athens.
Well, it might be, I don't know. But that's the only one I know of. Mo said it was in the east part of the state there, or now maybe he said the west part. I just don't recollect. Maybe here, I better call Mo's up, make sure about that.
No, don't bother. Never mind. It don't matter which part of the state it's in.
Well, no, I reckon not. We can ask somebody when we get there, I reckon. Reckon what they want all them owls for?
I don't know.
Are they starting up an owl farm or something?
No, they don't want no owls, Abner.
They don't?
Of course not.
Doggy's Lum, I don't think I'm for this new sideline you studied up. More your talk there, as near as I can figure it out, we get in our truck and we haul a load of coal to some folks that don't need any. Then we drive on to Tennessee with a batch of owls for folks that don't want any.
I don't know why I put up with this day in and day out.
Well, now, maybe you just got that turned around, Lum. Maybe the owls were supposed to go to them folks in Newcastle.
No, I never got it turned around, Abner. The sideline I was talking about was greeting cards.
For owls?
No, that's what we're going to sell. All kinds of greeting cards, except Christmas cards.
Oh, I see.
That's what I brung them samples for.
Yeah. You know, Lum, I bound you we could sell them cards to folks right here in Pine Ridge, Joe.
Of course we could. That's what I'm aiming on doing.
Well, what are we going to clean over to Tennessee for?
Oh, for goodness sake.
Well, now, why are we?
You figure that out for yourself, Abner. I ain't got a single answer left in me.
Well, now, come on now. Tell me, Lum, I want to know if I'm going in with you on this deal. Are you mad because I said I weren't in favor of the owl business?
No, I ain't mad, Abner. I'm just trying to keep from going stark, raving, mad crazy.
Well...
You watch the store for a while, Abner. I'll be back later.
Yeah, well, now, wait a minute. Where are you going, Lum?
I don't know. Someplace.
Well, now, where?
I'm going to go out and get measured for a straitjacket.
Huh. Well, I do know. Jacket. Doggies. Must be getting ready for that trip, I reckon. Well, I reckon I better call Elizabeth. Oh, I wish Lum never had his heart set on this. Oh, he's getting these crazy ideas in his head, and ain't nothing that'll get him out. Wants to go in the owl business. Hello? Pearl? Is your mama there, honey? Ask her to step to the telephone. All right.
Howdy, Mr. Abner.
Hello, Abner.
Oh,
well, howdy.
Excuse us, we never seen you on the phone.
Yeah, that's all right. Just a minute, Cedric. Wait a minute. Hello? Elizabeth? Well, I can't talk to you now, Elizabeth, 'cause Mousy and Cedric just come in, and I got something important to talk to them about.
Gee, something important, boy.
Yeah, well, I'll just have to call you later. I'm sorry I bothered you. Well, I wanted to tell you, though, I want you to get my Sunday suit and ornament for me. Well, I'm sort of aiming on making a trip here in a couple of days. I'll tell you about it later now. All right, Elizabeth. Hey, goodbye, honey.
What's so important that you want to talk to me about, Mr.
Well, now, before we get into that, Abner, we want to see Lum. You see, Cedric and I have just written a new book that we want him to publish.
Yes, Mom, both of us wrote it.
Well, I don't know, Mousy, but I think Lum's giving up that business. Fact is, we're going into a new business. I ain't for it, but Lum's got his heart set on it, so I reckon it's a thing to do. Hey, Doggies, wait a minute. You fellers can help us, too.
Boy, I hope we can make a lot of money out of it.
Well, you might not get rich off of it right at first, Cedric, but later on I know you can. Mousy, are you still friendly with that hoot owl?
Yes, sir. Every night I'm out after dark. I always exchange hoots with him.
Well, do you think you could catch him?
Catch him?
I found you I could. I've caught lots of owls.
Well, good for you, Cedric. Now, here, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll pay you fellers 25 cents for every owl you catch.
2 bits apiece?
Yes, sir.
Well, will you sure now?
Well, sure I will. So now, you fellers go out tonight and bring all the owls you can find into the store here tomorrow, and I'll pay you cash for them. All right, Doggies, we'll surprise old Lum.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
All right, Doggies, Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, Jot 'em down store. This is Lum and Abner.
You know? Let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, through a misinterpretation of one of Lum's old Eddards sayings, literal-minded Abner got the idea that Lum wanted to go into the owl business. Abner couldn't see the wisdom of this business venture, but he was willing to go ahead with it if that's what his partner wanted. So, to show his willingness to cooperate, Abner sent Cedric and Mousie out to catch owls. As we look in on the little community today, we find Abner and Cedric in the feed room, looking over the previous night's catch. Listen.
Yeah, that's it now, Cedric. Just cover the window up good. These owls will like it a heap better in here if it's dark in the feed room, I think.
Yes, Mom, they like it dark, all right.
Oh, yeah.
Be careful that owl in the corner there. That's Mousie's favorite owl.
Well...
That's the one that hoots at him at night.
Oh, yeah, that's the one that's just like a mother to him.
Yes, Mom.
Yeah, whereabouts is Mousie at, Cedric? Is he bringing in some more owls?
No, Mom, he went home to get some sleep.
Oh.
We had to go clean over to that old deserted barn west of town to get most of these owls.
Well, you sure done a good job, Cedric. I'll say that for you. Here, I better pay you, and you can pay Mousie his share when you see him.
Yes, Mom, he gets half of it.
Yeah, let's see now. How many owls?
Partners in this business.
Well, how many owls is there here now, Cedric? 14. 14, huh?
Yes, Mom. I kept counting while we was catching them, putting them in the box.
Yeah, let's see then. 14 times 25 cents. That's what I said I'd give you for them.
Quarter, yes, Mom. 2 bits.
Let's see. 10 times 25 is $2.50.
You better figure it up, Mr. Abner.
I am. That's what I'm doing, Cedric. That's 10 of them took care of. Now there's 4 more at 25 cents. That's
14 altogether.
Yeah, that's 10 and 4 at 25 cents. That's $3.50. Yeah. Now let's see. Let me get the money here. Here's $1, $2, $3, and here's a 50-cent piece for you, Cedric.
One of these is them big bills, ain't they?
Yeah, well, I got this money from Elizabeth. She's had it buried somewhere over at the place. Buries everything, worse than a pet coon.
Well, much obliged, Mr. Abner. You want us to get some more owls tonight?
No, I reckon this is enough for a starter, Cedric. I ain't sure how many Lum was figuring we'd need. Maybe later on we want some more and I'll call on you.
Yes, Mom.
Fact is, we might have too many right now. I don't know. I still think we're going to have an awful hard time selling these things. But Lum was so set on it, I figured he must know more about the owl business than he told me to want to get into it so bad.
Well, who you aiming on selling them to, Mr. Abner?
Well, I ain't sure, Cedric, but there's some folks over in Tennessee that... Uh-oh, wait a minute. There's Lum out there in front of the store. You better go out the back way, Cedric. I want to surprise Lum with these owls.
I wish I could stay and see Mr. Lum get surprised.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you all about it. I know he'll just be tickled to death. Hurry up now. Get out that back door there.
I'm getting.
Yeah, I got to get up front so Lum won't suspicion nothing.
So long, Mr. Abner.
Yeah, so long, Cedric. Well, morning, Lum.
Morning, Abner. What you so happy about this morning?
Oh, nothing.
You act sort of like you do when you're up to something.
Oh, no, I ain't been up to nothing. Nothing at all.
Well, I got news that ought to make you happy.
Well?
I got an order for our new greeting card business already.
Well.
Sister Simpson talked to me on the telephone about it last night.
Uh-huh.
She was too busy to give me all the details, but she's going to drop in this morning and see us about it.
Uh-huh.
She ain't been in yet, has she?
No, ain't nobody been in yet this morning.
It looks like she's chairman of some club or society or something, and this is a special week they're having, and she wants to send out some kind of greeting cards and tell the members all about it.
Tell them all about what?
About this special week, whatever it is.
Oh.
She never got around to telling me. I know she wants quite a batch of cards for it, though.
Well?
I figure if we do a good job for her on this, we'll more than likely be able to get a lot of other jobs, too.
Oh, yeah. Sister Simpson is chairman of might now everything is in town to be chairman of. What club is these cards for, Lum?
Well, I don't know. She'll tell us all that soon as she gets here. Say, Abner, I wanted to talk to you before anybody comes in.
Huh?
I sort of want to apologize to you.
Apologize? What for?
For getting mad and walking out of the store yesterday like that.
Lord me, you don't need to apologize for that, Lum.
Yes, I do. I ought not to have lost my patience.
Prattle.
I ought all to stay right here and keep explaining things till you understand them. I got to thinking about it last night, and it sort of come to me like a dream that's one of my duties in life.
Well, exactly what are you talking about, Lum?
Well, take yesterday, for instance. I mentioned that old Eddards saying about coals to Newcastle and owls to Athens, and right away you thought we was going into the owl business or some crazy idea like that.
Crazy idea?
Yeah.
You mean, we ain't going in it?
Well, of course not. Who ever heard of a business like that before?
No, I reckon not.
It's the silliest one idea I ever heard of. And I hear some awful silly ones around here, too, I can tell you that.
Well, Lum, you mean that you don't want no,
Don't want no what?
nothing, just forget about it,
Well,
let it
come
go.
on, tell me. Don't want no what?
No, it ain't nothing at all. I was just thinking about something else, I think. I can't even recollect what it was now I was thinking about. What time was Sister Simpson coming in here, Lum?
Oh, I don't know exactly. She said she'd be here first thing in the morning.
Well.
That was last night I was talking to her.
Uh-huh.
Reckon how much we ought to charge her for these cards?
Oh, I don't know. $1 a piece, something like that.
$1 a piece?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's too much.
'Tis, huh?
Oh, yeah, it ought to be more like a nickel or a dime.
Oh,
Of course, I reckon I ought to charge her according to how much printing there is on each card.
yeah.
I'll try to talk her into having a whole lot of printing on them.
Why, sure, that's a thing to do, yeah.
Wish she'd have told me what club these are for, so that I could have printed up some samples for her to look at.
Yeah, it'd have been nice, yeah.
Maybe I ought to go back in the feed room and print some up anyway. Just make up a name for it.
Well, Lum, I don't believe you ought to go back there.
Why not?
Well, maybe you ought to wait till after Sister Simpson gets here, and then you know exactly what to print.
Well, maybe you're right, Abner.
Yeah.
It would be just a waste of paper and ink, I reckon.
Oh, yeah, awful waste. Terrible waste, what it be.
But I think I better go back there and clean up the printing press.
Well, now, wait a minute. I'll do that for you. I'll clean it up good for you.
No, Abner, now you got enough work to do here in the store. I'll clean it up myself. Well, for goodness sakes.
What's the matter?
I thought I seen a bird fly past the door of the feed room there.
A bird?
Yeah. Looks sort of like an owl.
Owl.
Did you see one?
No, I never seen one, I don't think.
I guess we argued about them so much yesterday I can't get them off my mind.
Yeah. About it.
Imagining them, seeing them.
Just about what happened, yeah.
Well, I reckon I better get started cleaning up. Wait a minute. Abner, can you see anything back there? In the feed room there. Don't that look like owl eyes staring out of the dark in there?
I don't see nothing, Lum.
Well, stand over here where I'm standing. Right over here.
Well, all right.
There. Now look.
No, don't see a thing.
Pennies, you don't reckon there's something wrong with my eyes, do you?
All right, doggies, I bound you. That's it, Lump. You're seeing spots in front of them. That's exactly what you're doing. You better go on over and see Doc Miller right away, Lump.
Oh, no, it ain't that serious.
Oh, it is.
Next time I see him, I'll ask him to look at my eyes. What makes the feed room so dark back there? It ain't dark that way ordinary, is it?
Oh, well, I reckon I forgot to raise the curtains this morning.
Curtains?
Yeah.
We ain't got no curtains in the feed room.
Well, there's a horse blanket over the window. That's just something new that I started yesterday, I think, Lum. It keeps folks from staring in there and watching you when you're printing and stuff.
Well, I ain't been bothered by nobody staring in the windows. Granny's now it looks like there's two more big owl eyes back there. You sure you can't see 'em, Abner?
I can't see a thing, honest and
That's
true.
funny. I'd swear I can see 'em. Look, now they're blinking. Abner, can't you see that?
I don't believe I can.
Wait a minute. Abner, I ain't been acting sort of strange lately, have I?
Now, come to think of it, Lum, I have noticed you ain't appeared to be yourself the last couple of days. I hated to mention it, though. I believe you better run right out and see Doc Miller before it's too late. Go on right now.
No, I can't go now. Sister Simpson will be here any minute.
I'll take care of her. Now, you run along. We don't want to take chances with a serious thing like this.
I don't believe it's so serious, Abner. I feel all right.
Feller seeing owls?
At least I think I do. Might have a few symptoms.
Oh, yeah.
Granny's Abner, don't tell me you can't see that.
See what?
There on the floor. An owl walking out of the feed room.
Oh.
And there's another one following it.
Well, I can't see a thing.
Why, they're right there in front of... Just a minute. Wait a minute. Abner, you ain't went and got a bunch of owls in here, have you? Granny's, I orter expected something like
what
that.
Now, Lum, now.
If this don't beat the bugs a fighting. Get a broom, Abner, and chase them owls out of here, and hurry up.
Well, all right, but yesterday
Never mind about yesterday. Start wielding that broom.
All right, come on, get out of here now. Come on, get out of here, get out of here.
Here, give me that broom, I'll get him
Get out of here, scat.
Get. Shoot.
Come on, get out of here. Get out of here, you little varmint.
Open the door there, Abner.
Yeah,
Open the door up
I'll
there.
get it. Come on, run him this way. I'll open it. Bring him this way.
Get him out of here. Get. Now, how many more owls you got back there?
Oh, not many. It's just about 14 altogether.
14?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Come on, get out of here.
Yeah, get out.
Grab a stick or something, Abner, and help me.
Yeah, I'll get something here. I'll get 'em. I believe that's our ring, Lum.
Yeah, I heard it. You take the broom. I'll get the phone.
Yeah, here, give it here. I'll get 'em. Come on. Shoo, get out of here.
Hello, jot 'em
Get
down
out
in
of
the owl
here.
store. Jot 'em down
Shoo.
store and library. Lum Eddards talking.
Scat, come on.
Huh?
Get out the door.
Oh,
there.
hello,
Come on.
Sister
Come
Simpson.
on, get out the door.
Your
Get
boy?
out the door there. That's it. Shoo.
Canceling the order. Well, yeah, I was doing that, but...
Get on.
Well, how did you see me?
Shoo. Come on.
Oh, well, now listen, Sister Simpson.
Shoo.
Sister Simpson. Hello?
The last
Hello? Granny's, now you did it, Abner.
Did what?
You've lost us a big printing order. That's what you did.
How could I do that?
Well, Sister Simpson's right across the street there, and she's seen me chasing the owls with a broom.
Well, what's that got to do with losing the order for them cards?
Well, it's got everything to do with it.
Huh?
Them cards was for the Ladies' Woodcraft and Feathered Friends Club, and this is to be kind to wild birds.